Cryptorocker, what's going on, guys? So today is a very special day. We have our buddy Ryan Berkness here doing a Skype interview with me. So say hello, Ryan.
Hey everybody, how are you?
Yeah, so it's really great to have you on. Now, I was watching one of your streams the other day and we were mentioning Skycoin and all that stuff, but you know, really quick, I just want to get back to the beginning, back last year when I started making videos. I actually started watching your videos. And I don't know if you remember, or maybe I'm sure you do, but there was the whole like micro hash craze and like all these like little things that were popping up that were BitLake. There were all these things that were in cryptocurrencies. If you got involved with them, you could put some of your Bitcoin or some of your Ethereum, and it would actually build your holdings. Like, say your Bitcoin would grow or your Ethereum would grow with these little, I guess, I don't want to say scams, but I guess they were scams.
Yeah, they pretty much all ended up being scams, didn't they? I mean,
yeah.
Part of it, hindsight, you look back and you go, boy, that was probably the stupidest thing, that I ever could have done. But kind of didn't know any better back when I was first getting started,
Yeah, same here. And luckily, I did get involved with a couple of them, but I only put a very small percentage of my portfolio in those. So I did lose a little bit, but it was a good learning experience, I guess you could say. So
yeah.
But fast forward until now, and I know that you've kind of moved past that and learned from your experiences as well with your followers. And same here with me, and I just been dabbling into different areas in cryptos. Also meeting some of these blockchain experts and meeting some of the people running the platform. So I've since a year ago, I've learned a lot in the crypto industry. And of course, we went through that whole January, February, that huge spike in Bitcoin, and then the big depression that we're in now. And actually, since I saw you last week, the cryptos have dropped dramatically in the past day or two, haven't they?
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of bullish pressure right now, but I think the bears are absolutely just winning right now. And the conspiracy theorist within me is saying that there might be more to the story, but it's a great time to buy Bitcoin if you haven't gotten into it, right?
Yeah, I would say. So actually, what I was doing the other day is, I'm just turning the volume up for you, but I've been trying to get a hold of some of the crypto YouTubers that I've been watching since I started, like Max High on Coins, or Crypto Blood, or Suppoman, or Box Mining, or Crypt Zero, Rich TV Live. A bunch of these guys, you're one of them. So it's cool that I finally got to reach out to you. And I just wanted to ask you, like, what types of things since the microhash or even before have you noticed changes in cryptos, and where we might be heading in the future?
Yeah, I think with the changes that have come in the last year that I've seen, when I first got started really creating these crypto videos and things like that, it was really straight up the Wild West, and pretty much anything went. And you would find a website, or somebody would email me about a website, and I'd be like, cool. And so I'd put some money in, and it was kind of like way back when. Then the name of the game was get in quick and get out quick, make your profit and get out. And it didn't really dawn on me until I was having a conversation with somebody that as I'm getting in and making a little bit of money and then pulling it out, that every time I'm doing that, other people are losing money. And so that's where the regulations and people started to get really upset about things like that, and it made sense, totally makes sense now, hindsight. But at the time, you get involved with some of these different things, and you go, man, this is a great way to utilize cryptocurrencies to make money. And it was it's gambling. It's straight up gambling, and so anytime you're gambling, somebody wins and somebody loses. And so it was kind of like an online version of gambling, and so it was kind of hitting that part of my brain where I'm like, this is a lot of fun. But there's where ICOs are outlawed in certain countries, or they're just like ICOs in the United States here aren't exactly legal unless they've really come under the scrutiny of the SEC, and that's I don't know of any that really have, and so I've shifted away from doing things like that are closer to gambling, and move towards things that are a little bit more sure, like just straight up trading, trading cryptocurrencies. Now, mind you, even when you're trading, anytime you make profits and you increase the amount of Bitcoin you have, it's at the expense of somebody else who's losing it. And so there's always going to be that factor involved with it. But I think over the last year, my attitude towards crypto has changed, and I've sort of grown up in crypto and really understood that I want to make a legitimate long-term investment and not look for the short-term, at the slot machine, put the quarters in and pull the thing and see if I can make some money, if that makes sense.
It does make sense, and I've noticed a lot of crypto YouTubers, especially in the space, have started to say the same thing. Because at first, it was very easy to get super easy gains, especially in December, January. And now, looking at it, you can see the technology, you can see the future ahead, maybe the next 2-3 years from now, that these things are going to be growing exponentially. So getting in now in the long term might be, of course, I'm not a financial advisor. You should only invest what you're willing to lose. These are just our non-financial opinions, me and Ryan. But I think he's right. I think if you look at it in the long term, there is, in my non-financial opinion, definitely plenty of room to grow. So looking very short term, crypto moves very fast, so it's easy to get caught in the short term game.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the thing.
And you almost get, and those who started in last year in 2017, you almost have muscle memory to expect that sort of short term gain.
Yeah.
That game is over, and in my opinion, I don't think it'll ever be back to the point where you could make more than, let's say, 50% return in a given 30-day period, and it would be I just think back before you could put money in and you could make money quick, but now I think just the old school, tried and true Forex style trading, but using cryptocurrencies is that's been my focus, at least for my channel. And I still have a lot of people that reach out to me and they're like, BitConnect and USI Tech, and when I was involved with those, and hindsight, of course, I thought BitConnect for sure was one of those that I was just like, I looked at it and I thought, okay, the website says that they have a trading robot. Let's say we take it at face value, and they're trading. I had a robot at the same time, and when theirs went up, mine also went up at the same time. So whether they did or didn't, I don't know. But either way, the new knowledge that I have this year is that anytime you're putting your Bitcoin, your crypto into a company and expecting profits from that company, that can be considered a security. And so now I'm literally just saying I'm no longer interested in exchanging cryptocurrency or Bitcoin for trust in a certain organization, if you know what I'm saying. Because this whole thing is based on blockchain. It's based on a trustless technology, right? Where we're moving towards, I can go peer-to-peer transferring and transfer wealth peer-to-peer, and I don't have to trust in a bank or a government or an institution to actually do that. And so the organization in exchange for the future hopes of profit, which is exactly what the SEC wants us to understand as well. I hope that makes sense.
It does make sense, and I'd like to throw in there a couple things, actually, because one of the things that I promote on my channel, and I've been promoting this since the beginning, is that we're looking at cryptocurrencies to create crypto gains that we can then return to our family, our friends, and to use to pursue our passions and our dreams. So when you say the SEC, that rings a bell in a good way and a bad way. Now, for example, I was involved with a token that had nothing to do with like a microhash or BitConnect or anything like that. It was actually a token called Centra token. It was supposed to be a card that you can use, a crypto card, and they had eBay where you could purchase things and things like that. And they actually had a product and they were actually doing pretty well. And then the SEC came down hard on them, and actually 3 of the guys are possibly getting put into jail or getting summons to go to jail and things like that. But at the same time, their blockchain and what they were doing in their platform was actually legitimate, and it was very well put together, and it still is. So it's like there's speculations of what could happen if a coin kind of gets hit hard by the SEC, but then it's still there. Does it go to zero, or does it get picked up and continue on after all the things of, who knows, But that's just an example of a coin that wasn't a BitConnect. It wasn't a scammy coin per se. So there's lots of, when you say Wild Wild West, there's so many different variables. The government can become the Wild Wild West. You can have scammers online become the Wild Wild West. You could have the bulls just want to come in, and next thing you know, Cryptos is back up to 20,000 or higher. I mean, anything could happen. It's crazy.
Good point. Yeah, that's an excellent point. Yeah, because there's a lot of, there's stories on either side, right? And I tend to play it safe and be on the side of anything that could be considered a security, or anytime you're exchanging money for potential future profits. That is just too scary for me, because, so for me, I guess the pendulum has swung really far in the other direction. I mean, when I first started, my pendulum was over here going, screw all the government stuff. This is freedom of money, and if I want to invest in this stuff and make some money off of it, what's wrong with that? It's living, capitalism or, whatever. But it could also be construed as greed. But at the same time, hey, making money is making money, and that's part of what we need to do in order to function in society is create forms of wealth, because it has to be exchanged in that way. So there's definitely arguments on the other side about the SEC overstepping and shutting down things that maybe they shouldn't, right?
Sure.
And I don't know where, I'm not a political sort of guy, but for me, I've moved like, all right, I feel like I owe it to the subscribers that are following me on my channel to try to be like, all right, I want to make sure that whatever I promote or whatever